Welcome to the Garden Report, powered by Blue Apron. I am Jared Weiss, and this is Josue Pavon. This is the Garden Report on CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog, and we are here on the court where Isaiah Thomas just dropped 52 points, a career high, the fifth time in the regular season that a Celtic has dropped 50 points since 1963, when Basketball References database even started. It was a pretty good game for Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, historic night, Jared. We saw history tonight, man. I'm talking about Isaiah Thomas dropping 29 in the fourth quarter, scoring as many points as he did, and then doing it the way he did it. Scoring it in people's face, popping threes in people's eyes. I mean, just doing it in a way that there was no one on the court that could stop him tonight. What a game.
So you said making history. I thought you were talking about Kelly Olynyk's headband with the flowing hair.
Not quite, no. Tonight's not about Kelly. Typically, we would talk a little Kelly and talk about his hair, but tonight it's all about IT. What a performance, man. And I have to say, he made a statement tonight. He made a statement. He is one of the best scorers in the NBA. Mark it down. I said it right here tonight at the TD Garden on the Garden Report. Isaiah Thomas is one of the best scorers in the NBA, if you didn't know that already.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really going out on a limb there, sorry to say.
No, but hold on, Jerry. Hold on.
One of the top 10 scorers in the league.
People sleep on him, though, right?
I feel like people have woken up in general at this point.
Okay,
but
maybe they've woken up.
Fight your fight.
Let me fight.
I'm not going to get in the way of you.
Let me fight my fan. Okay. What's the biggest knock everyone says? He's too small. Isaiah, on a championship team, he's probably not a 2. Come on. I mean, I understand he needs help. Every single team, if you want to be a championship caliber team, you're going to need another person to also, pour in buckets. But at the same time, I think people overlook the fact that he is a solidified 2 on a championship team. He's just missing that one guy. And I feel like the biggest knock on him is his size. People tend to look over him when we're talking about some of the best scorers, And right now, I just feel like he's in a zone that is not going. This season is not a fluke, okay? This is an Isaiah Thomas that's going to continue to score and continue to flirt with that line of 28, 29 points a night. That's how good he is.
Oh, he's clearly building off of what he did last year. And last year he was fantastic. He was an all-star last year. This year he's jumped to being an all-NBA player. Yeah. He has a legitimate shot of getting a starting nod on the all-star team. I think KYRIE will probably get it before him.
Right.
But he's been incredible this year. He's obviously a lock to make the all-star team, regardless of what happened tonight. But let's talk about that fourth quarter. So with 29 points, he fell 2 points short of the NBA record for points in the fourth quarter, which came, of course, in Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. So that's the class that Isaiah is in. He said after the game, it's crazy to even be mentioned in the same conversation as Wilt Chamberlain, who was at one point the biggest player in NBA history. We're talking about one of the smallest guys to ever dominate in the game. And what was so amazing about tonight was after all those points he scored, he almost had one of the best blocks we've seen in this building in a long time. He got called for a foul. I didn't see the full replay to see whether it was a foul or not, but he got all the way up there. He hung in the air for like at least 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. He was up there forever. That was right after that Jaylen Brown dunk, where Jaylen had that ridiculous hang time.
And the place went nuts. Right?
Isaiah's athleticism is unbelievable.
It is. And again, I mean, people always knock him about his size, and I feel like he makes up for it because of how good of a scorer he is. A lot of these shots, they weren't open. A lot of these shots, they weren't, easy buckets, and that's what pure scorers do. They score in people's faces. You can double team them. You can, do whatever you want to try to stop them. And he was in a type of zone that no one was going to stop him. And that's how good Isaiah Thomas is.
And he even said afterwards that some of the shots that he hit, he didn't even see the hoop. It's just a matter of repetition. I mean, he said, obviously, I got lucky, but to his credit, the amount of work that he puts into it. I mean, the great scorers, they drill when they do their 1,000 shots a day, which is that idiom that people always love from Ray Allen. Those guys are practicing blind turnaround threes. They're practicing coming off of floppy cuts to get all sorts of wacky shots. They're practicing fadeaways from 30 feet out. I mean, that's the stuff that Isaiah Thomas drills down, and you see the way that it comes out in the games where he can take any shot, and he's getting to the point where it's not a bad shot anymore.
Exactly. And it's getting to the point where you sort of have to step aside and kind of let him do his thing. What was the biggest knock on the Celtics last season, well, especially in the playoff series against the Hawks? If you can stop Isaiah Thomas, you can stop the Celtics. Tonight, they couldn't stop Isaiah Thomas. I know it's the Miami Heat. I know Dragic wasn't in the game tonight, and I know that there's a lot of people that may look at this game and say, you're kind of supposed to do that against the Heat. But I just think Thomas made a statement tonight, and I think that the Celtics are going to carry on to this momentum. They didn't have Avery Bradley tonight, which proves a lot. Isaiah Thomas wasn't afraid to take responsibility for a lot of the scoring, but it also shows that this Celtics team, I feel like, is going to keep riding on to this momentum, and I think that Miami game, the Cleveland game, I'm still getting mixed up because of LeBron James, I think that Cleveland game is just sort of a motivation factor for them to keep carrying on that momentum that they had going into Cleveland.
I'll just say quickly about the Cleveland games. We didn't do a show afterwards. I was watching the game with my parents as we were celebrating Hanukkah. The fourth quarter starts, and my mom says, "Why are they even playing at this point? They're clearly, the game is over. They're going to lose."
Right.
I told her, they will be down by 6 points with 5 minutes left. They always do it. And sure enough, right at about the 5-minute mark, they scored
called that, huh?
in the timeout. But they do it every single time.
Right.
Tonight, it kind of went the other way, where they had a bit of a lead, and the Heat hit some unbelievable shots to come back.
Right. Well, normally I'm the guy to make that prediction, but I didn't see that one coming against Cleveland. I mean, what a game! But
we knew Tyler Zeller was due for one of them, right?
Yeah,
I'm being completely sarcastic.
Yeah.
We'll come back in part two. We'll come back in part two to talk more about Isaiah Thomas, obviously. Don't forget, go to blueapron.com/garden report. You get 3 free meals. You get free shipping. You can cook like a pro, or just cook like me, who actually made some good meals with Blue Apron. So we'll be right back for part 2 of the Isaiah Thomas Show. I mean, the Garden Report on CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog.